now open in Lincoln. Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
The wait is over. It's Truck Month at Anderson Ford, which means big selection and even bigger savings on Ford F-150s. Like lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for only $195 per month. The truck that's built to work hard and play hard. Another reason you'll experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008409. Previous service letter. $195 per month for 36 months, 7,500 miles per year, 8,500 with type. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26.
Hello, I'm Steve Sipple, co-host of Early Break, weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And my favorite thing to do, see, or go to in downtown Lincoln is probably O'Rourke's. It's not like I go there that often, but when I do, it takes me back to my college years. It's always been a very chill bar. Seems like they play good music, just a good vibe in there. And I look forward to my next trip into that bar.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger, or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Central and Western Nebraska, this one's for you. On March 7th, Love Nebraska brings the pro game to the Heartland Event Center in Grand Island for a 7 p.m. showdown with Love Salt Lake, presented by FNBO. No long drive, no watching from afar, just live action in your backyard, featuring powerful serves, high-flying attacks, and the kind of intensity that builds with every rally. This is your chance to experience Nebraska volleyball up close as the entire state comes together for one big night. Get your tickets now at lovbneb.com/tickets. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew as we bring you live coverage of the 2026 NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament from Pinnacle Bank Arena. The action tips off Wednesday, March 4th. If it's being played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, it's heard on The Ticket. Class A to Class D2 all week long. Join us March 4th through March 7th as we crown 6 state champions from the 2026 NSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in, Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Tom Shatel from the Omaha World. How we doing?
Good, Nick. What's going on tonight?
Not too much. We just got done talking. There's a lot going on, not only in sports. March is here officially. There's basketball to kind of take center stage with everything. But not only that, you have Nebraska wrestling heading to the Big Ten Wrestling Championships this weekend in Bryce Jordan Center in Pennsylvania. You have Husker baseball having their home opener tomorrow. I mean, if you look outside right now, it's a little chilly, but no snow, no rain. So home opener against Omaha tomorrow at 1:30 down at Hawksville at Haymarket Park. You got softball back at home for the first time this year. They've had a tremendous season so far. It's only been about 3 or 4 weeks. They've beaten several top 25 teams throughout. So there's a lot going on. But first, I want to talk more about football just because of the Husker Football Hour, and then we'll get into basketball out west. They picked up the win against USC and whatnot, and they got UCLA tomorrow, a historic UCLA Bruins basketball program where they're going to be playing a late game. So better get your coffee brewing or whatnot if you want to stay up for that one here in Lincoln, Nebraska, in the Nebraska area. But Nebraska football, we are in March. We officially entered March, Tom. And Husker football, the spring game is, I feel like the other day it was like, oh, spring practice is going to sneak up on us really quick. No, the spring game is now sneaking up real quick. It's crazy how that works and how fast the time moves, especially this month. There's so much going on.
Yeah, and I'm guilty. I have not followed spring football because it's right during basketball. My focus right now is all basketball. And I watched, I was at a spot Friday night, Clancy's in Omaha. I had the Nebraska Auburn game on, so the place was packed. Everybody was in on focus on every pitch. When Nebraska held on to win, they played the fight song, and people were cheering, and I felt like baseball season. People were fired up for that. So you're right. There's a lot going on right now, and the football is, we're just going to be, it's just sort of a get to know everybody's month. Get to know the new coaches, get to know the transfers. There's 16 of them, I believe. So
yeah, there's a lot.
We're just trying to figure out, we're not watching practice. We're not watching scrimmages. So we won't know until the spring game what anything looks like.
Yeah, I mean, just spring practice is kind of putting everything together, figuring out what you got. And Nebraska has a lot of different things, new coaches, new voices in the locker room. You have a new defensive coordinator. You got Owen Chambliss and guys coming over from San Diego State. I think the biggest takeaway, everyone, is the quarterback position. Anthony Calandria, Matt Rule and them talked about kind of what he brings to the team. There is a competition, I guess, in a sense, but he's the leader of the pack in that quarterback room at the moment. Matt Rule earlier, Saturday had a little bit of a media scrum and kind of talked about how Anthony Calandria brings a little bit of swagger to his position. You look at his career so far. Played at Virginia. He broke some records as a freshman there. Then he had a lot of turnover problems. Fumbled the ball, throw interceptions. The touchdown ratio wasn't great. Kind of goes to UNLV and kind of reinvents himself. Wins Mountain West Player of the Year in that conference last year with Dan Mullen as the head ball coach for the Rebels. And then now he's here in Nebraska. Obviously it was the Kenny Minchie thing, which it feels like ages ago, Tom. But now you have Anthony Calandria kind of as the guy at this point. But, Nebraska has depth at the quarterback position, something we haven't really seen in quite some time, because now you have TJ Lateef, who has a handful of starts under his belt, and you have Danny Kaelin, who grew up, in the Omaha area, played at Bell West, and now he comes back from Virginia. So you have depth at the quarterback position. I think that is the big takeaway I have. One of the biggest takeaways I'm taking from spring practice, because you have that quarterback depth and that kind of on your shoulders.
Yeah, the depth is good. There's certainly been years when they didn't have anything, and so it's in fact, I guess it was 3 years ago, Rule's first year. They really did not. They had Harburg was out there a lot of the year and had not played much, and it just seemed like it was just they weren't always sure what they were doing week to week sometimes. So this is the sort of third year of Dana Holgerson. He knows what he wants to do. He says it's based on the players. So the players keep changing. So we'll see what he's got up his sleeve. But yeah, Clary is really an intriguing guy because he's played. I don't know if he's the best quarterback they have, but he's the most experienced, and so he's going to get the ball because they need to have somebody out there with that, especially with that schedule.
Yeah.
Who has been through some of this stuff now. He hasn't been through that. So he's played well at Vegas and the Mountain West schedule. And they beat UCLA last year. But, he certainly played at Virginia and they play good teams in the ACC. But, there's just no guarantees. And most fans I talk to and hear from don't want, and they don't want promises right now. They don't want hype. They want to just somebody to go out and just play well and win games. Don't turn it over. So we'll see if we can do that. But I speak about. I don't remember seeing a lot of him last year. I did watch the Vegas games. But as I wrote last week, it's the smart play. It's becoming the smart play for kids to go to Mountain West level, or Virginia is certainly a Power 4, but go get on the field somewhere, and then you could transfer up, or as opposed to coming out of high school, going to the big school, and you never see the field because you can't get experience because coaches keep bringing in older guys. So that's certainly the case here. To me, it's a sign that Matt Rule knows he has to win. So what if this was truly a developmental year? Would he play Latif and just kind of try to ride with him and just get him snaps next year and not worried about the win-loss record? That sounds absolutely insane, I know, but
yeah.
But that's not where we are, and that's not where we're going to be next year and the year after that.
Yeah,
they're going to have to win. So you know what I mean? So we're always going to have older guys, I think.
I think in a sport where you're based off of a win-loss record, you can't afford to have a season like that. You're in a win-now situation, no matter where you are, especially in the sport of football. You have to win. We see in the pros all the time. If you're not winning, bad things happen. I mean, it's easy to say things when you're winning. So it's a win-now situation. You have a quarterback like Anthony Calandria. Do the stats jump off the page? No, I mean, the last two of his 3 years, no. Virginia 2023. 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 62% completions. His second year there at Virginia, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 62% completion percentage, around that same mark. The turnovers, I think, there is the biggest takeaway because you're playing Power 4 football and you're turning the ball over just about the same amount of times you're throwing touchdowns. But then you go to the Mountain West level last year in the fall of 2025, completion percentage is up to 66%. Yards are up substantially, over a 3,000-yard passer, 8 yards per pass, 23 touchdowns and 9 picks. I mean, yes, he's playing at a lesser conference. The ACC and the Mountain West don't go hand in hand or whatnot, but the numbers look better. I think you're just kind of reinventing yourself and kind of finding out what you can do, because, you know, he could have sat at Virginia and transferred to another Power 4 team and struggled there, but now he has a kind of a little chip on his shoulder. Like, hey, I was playing Power 4 football, went down to the Mountain West level, did what I needed to do. And then now Nebraska, the opportunity came knocking, and you have that. But also, you know, Matt Rule also mentioned that he's a competitor. He's a guy who, you know, is competitive. He's just how he's built. And you need that in football. And you have two guys like TJ Lateef, who showed signs, you know, obviously as a freshman, he got kind of thrown into the fire last year against USC. It's a blackout game, home night game. Oh, Raiola goes down. Oh, you're kind of stepping in. And then the next week plays a game in California, a homecoming game essentially for TJ Lateef from that area, gets to play there and plays pretty solid. You know, he had a pretty solid, gets banged up at the end of the year, has to play the gauntlet of Penn State and Iowa, and then the bowl game. He gets some snaps under his belt and gets some experience. Then you have Danny Kalen, who ironically also was at Virginia, not at the same time as Calandria, but back at Virginia there, and gets playing time as well, just due to Chandler Morris going down for a little bit and get some playing time. So you have a quarterback room with guys who actually have taken meaningful snaps in college games, not guys who have come in and, you know, game's over with and you get in there just to hand the ball off and run the clock and get out of there with any injuries. You have three guys who have at least have played meaningful football in some shape or form at the college level and have played meaningful snaps in games that could be decided by, one or two throws you make.
Yeah, he, the thing I like about having guys from smaller and also coaches, I mean, between Arch and Calandria, Nebraska's contending for the Mountain West next year. But they've got new guys. I like the idea that these guys are young and hungry, and not highly recruited guys who have been entitled and are getting all this money. And I think Nebraska has kind of lacked that over the years, where this sort of underdog mentality. And it's crazy, right? Well, Nebraska, guess what, is an underdog. Nebraska is not ranked. They're not expected to do anything. I predict that next year's Big Ten preseason poll, they'll be ranked 11th, 12th. They'll be a second tier. And so I'd like to see a little bit of an edge, a little swagger. Yeah, a little bit of a chip on your shoulder mentality from coaches and players. So instead of all this talk about, the easy schedule, they should win 9 or 10. I mean, stop saying that. They have not earned any of that. And now Nebraska football is in a position where it has to earn everything.
Yeah, they're not winning the offseason. I think Nebraska's done a pretty good job at doing that in the past couple of years. And that's, dude, it's Nebraska football. Everybody wants to be right to make that prediction. Like, hey, Nebraska football will get back to that 10-win status or whatnot. Everybody wants that prediction to be right at some point. And now you have a situation where you're just trying to just get kind of get there. And now you have a couple of guys with a little bit of chip on their shoulder and whatnot. And maybe that happens. Maybe it does. It's February. It's the end of February, early March. We don't know yet. We'll see a lot in the spring game. That'll tell us a little bit more about positional battles and whatnot, because that's where this is decided. Is it spring football the most glorious thing in the world? No, but it's where people kind of earn their stripes and earn opportunities that maybe weren't given to them come the fall. And now you have guys, quarterback there. The really interesting thing, Tom, is the running back position. They didn't go out and go get a running back in the transfer portal. Emmett Johnson's irreplaceable regardless, because we'll get into a little bit of him in this segment. Emmett Johnson, he was at the combine, the NFL combine, but they didn't go out and get another running back. They're kind of trusting the process of what they have. I mean, Mekhi Nelson was the front runner. More than likely, he played in the Las Vegas Bowl and had a couple of big runs, a couple of big snaps. But last year, never really got a chance because you couldn't take a guy like Emmett Johnson off the field on any down, because he was not just the running back, but he was the offense. He was the guy who's kind of guiding Nebraska's offense down the field when they needed to. So then, now it's irreplaceable. Emmett Johnson's going to be hard to replicate that, because he's a once-in-a-generational running back at that position for Nebraska over the last couple of years. Nebraska's lacked having a running back like that. They've had good running backs in the past, but a guy like Emmett Johnson, that production on a team that only goes 500, they need to find that production, because in the Big Ten, if you can't run the football, not a lot of good things happen.
No, I mean, yeah, everybody has to start somewhere, and so these guys coming in, and there's another new guy who's aptly named Rule.
Jamal.
It's you know, just because they haven't done it doesn't mean that they won't. But you know, when I look at the running backs, I start with the offensive line. I mean, if they don't have room to run, there's not going to be. They're not going to do much. And then they have to have plays called to run the ball. And so in this offense, it's something like Dana Holgren has decided about the quarterback is going to run. So certainly there's with Holgren, he's impressed me with his ability to, especially short yardage by the goal line, pound it in. But he's a throwing guy, and so he loves his receivers. There's a new tight end, coming in, and along with Luke. So I feel like this is, we could have new running backs that are great, but how are they going to get a lot of reps? Are they going to get on the field? Are they going to call running plays? We don't know. I mean, we saw flashes of it in the bowl game, right? The first drive, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this might be pretty good. Then they didn't do it again. So, and part of that was Utah's defense, certainly. But I don't know. I look at next year's schedule, and I don't know that it's going to be an offensive juggernaut. I think it's going to be up to the offensive line. They're going to have to be up to the moment and up to the level, because a lot of those defenses that are playing in the Big Ten are going to be really good.
That's just how Big Ten football is. Smash mouth football. It seems like Iowa, do they do the most pretty things? No, but they get wins just because of they're able to run the ball at a high rate and then play action pass and set that up. Before we go to break, I want to talk a little bit about Emmett Johnson. He got the opportunity to be at the NFL Combine yesterday or this past weekend, and a good opportunity for him because, everybody knows the intangibles you have, your height, your weight, you run the 40-yard dash, you do the bench press, the broad jump, and all that jazz, all the stuff that they're looking at you. But it's all about the interviewees. You get a chance to interview with multiple NFL teams. It's a good opportunity. You don't get, it's not just, you sign up and you get to go to the Combine, Tom, but you get to, you have to be invited. And, it's a privilege to be there. And Emmett Johnson got a great opportunity to improve his draft stock and represent Nebraska there as well, because this running back class is loaded. You have Jeremiah Love. You have a lot of other really good running backs there who are projected to go first round and whatnot. But he has a really good opportunity ahead of him because there's teams looking for running backs because that's just how the NFL works. I mean, look at the Vikings. They released Aaron Jones the other day. There's an opening there. There's an opportunity there. Could be a second down back, second string back, no matter where he goes. There's multiple teams looking for running backs. And Emmett Johnson could be a guy playing on Sunday. Should be a guy playing on Sundays more than likely. How he did at the NFL Combine, Tom.
Yes, I think there's opportunities for him. Everything I've read, I read some scouting reports on Emmett going into the Combine, and they seem to be, this is a guy who would add a lot of value, maybe third or fourth round, be that kind of guy who could come in. He can catch passes. He does have a burst. He's very versatile. They didn't like his pass protection, but maybe somebody will overlook that or maybe have a different opinion. But the reports I saw at Emmett were that he's not going to be like a every down sort of a workhorse guy, but he would be a guy who can help you like in a lot of different ways. So I think he's going to get drafted. He might go high, just depending on the opportunity. But yeah, he's definitely he's a fighter. He's a gamer. He played hurt. I'm sure he interviewed very well. He wants to play for the Vikings. I mean, that the Vikings need a little goodwill right now. So why not draft the hometown kid?
Yeah, there's opportunities. It only takes one, too. Only takes one team to like you, and they can pick you and then give you a chance, because there's multiple opportunities out there. It's just a matter where you go, and it only takes one. Only takes one team to really fall in love with you and put you on that team. But we're going to go to break for the first time here on the Husker Football Hour. Tom Shatel. But when we come back, we're going to talk some basketball. Nebraska basketball out west got one win out in California. They'll try to go for number 2 tomorrow as they play the UCLA Bruins there tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Central Time. So get your coffee if you are in the Central Time Zone and whatnot, because it is going to be a late one and around midnight our time. But we'll talk more about that one in Nebraska basketball in general as they close out regular season play this week, right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Biggest question people have is, how do I start the process? What is the process? I want to build a new home, but I don't know what the first step is.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost, and get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved, because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger, or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Looking for something fun tonight? axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arboraxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
The wait is over. It's Truck Month at Anderson Ford, which means big selection and even bigger savings on Ford F-150s. Like lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for only $195 per month. The truck that's built to work hard and play hard. Another reason you'll experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008409. Previous service letter. $195 per month for 36 months, 7,500 miles per year, 8,500 with type. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And right now at Koppel, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyon is leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All leases with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Tom, we just got done talking about Nebraska football. Spring football. The spring game will be here before we know it. It's the end of the month. It's going to sneak up on us real quick. It's crazy how fast the time flies. But we're also in the month of March, so basketball is kind of defined by the month of March in general because of March Madness, the NCAA tournament, and whatnot. Nebraska basketball is out on the West Coast after picking up a win over Maryland the other week, beating USC on Saturday 82-67 in a game where Nebraska was down 5 at half. But everything Nebraska just stayed of course. They've been, stay of course. They've done it against teams like Minnesota and kind of a similar situation in that game. You're down at half and then come out in the second half, blazing hot, 50-plus points put up. Price Stanford puts up 32. It's crazy he doesn't have as many 30-point games as I thought he did, but he's always in that 25-ish, 30-point mark. And Nebraska wins 82-67 over the Trojans there in sunny California. But they're back at it tomorrow night. They play the UCLA Bruins, 10 o'clock tip-off Central Time. So, this team right now is just avoiding losses and just trying to keep your conversation in maybe that 3 seed, 4 seed right now. But they're also, Tom, Nebraska has a chance tomorrow night to lock up a triple bye in the Big Ten basketball tournament, which if you would have told me or anybody at the beginning of the year, Nebraska would be back in the top 10, have a chance for a triple bye to the quarterfinals of the Big Ten basketball tournament, and be looking at a 3 seed in March Madness. Yeah, nobody would have thought that at the beginning of the year. And now look at them now.
Yeah, this is a team with resolve, and I love that about this team. We've said before, it's an older team, and they know how to take a punch. They're just like you said, they're back. They get hit in the mouth. They had their couple of losses with Illinois, Michigan, Purdue, and then Iowa. Every time they bounce back, and they did it again. And it's not pretty, but that's what we love about them. They just find ways to get things done, and they may come out slow. They may not be in the offense the right way, or they're not sharing the ball or moving it, Saturday Sam is in foul trouble, and they go say when he's on the bench they fall down or fall behind. So, but then they always come back. And that's the theme of the year, and I love it about them. And so they've got very specific role players who are excellent at what they do. And that's what you want as a coach and a fan, everything. You want to know what you're doing and do it really well. And so, Yeah, it's fun to watch. I have not been able to find out if Nebraska has ever played at Pauley Pavilion. I don't think they have. I don't think they played UCLA that often. So I think they may have played them in a tournament somewhere, and then they played them in Lincoln last year. So tomorrow night's gonna be fun.
Well, yeah, that, and then you throw in the fact that UCLA is coming off a loss to Minnesota. Tom, UCLA is a very interesting team because they struggle on the road. You know, maybe it's because of a location or whatnot. And Mick Cronin's been their head coach has been very vocal about it. But they're a team where they've been really good at home. They're 16-1 at home this year. Only one loss was to Indiana in double overtime, which to UCLA, it's a historic basketball program. They have been. They've you can't, when you mention college basketball, the UCLA, the John Woodens and all the historic players over the years is what kind of comes to mind. But with this team, UCLA is tough to beat at home. They have beaten Purdue there, and they've beaten Illinois, both games down to the wire, and UCLA ends up with the ball with seconds to go and wins the game. Donovan Dent for UCLA gets the inbound pass against Illinois in overtime. And goes the length of the floor and makes it to give the Bruins the win a couple weeks ago. They are a tough team at home. And is their season perfect? No, they're kind of sitting on that 8-9 seed line, kind of like Iowa is. But they're playing good basketball. And Mick Cronin's been in the game for a long time, whether that be at Cincinnati, whether it be at UCLA. Mick Cronin's been to big games throughout his coaching tenure. I mean, even before this decade, he's UCLA team with Johnny Juzang and Jaime Jaquez and whatnot. He's had some tough guys. And they've made some runs. So UCLA, I mean, you can't count them out. I mean, these next two games, you can't look ahead because, the Iowa game obviously has talk about it for reasons. But you have UCLA right there who has knocked off the top cream of the crop of the Big Ten Conference this year, Tom.
Yeah, they did a Final Four under Mick. And but that seemed like years ago. Because he's just so up and down, and the guy's kind of a maniac, and UCLA is a blue blood, and they expect a certain level of not only basketball but the way coach how to act, and they last year he was complaining about the Big Ten travel and just nonstop, and then this year was other stuff, and he took his player at Michigan State. He ejected his own player, kind of embarrassed him, and that brought out all the media in LA, and they just hammered away at him, and so it almost felt like he's got a huge buyout, but he might be in trouble. But ever since that Michigan State game, he's kind of calmed down. You're right. They came back and beat Illinois on a Tyus Edney type play. Only Missouri, old Missouri types like myself will know who that is. But Tyus Edney was the guard who went coast to coast to beat Missouri in the NCAA tournament with a layup at the buzzer. So they pulled that off again in 4 seconds. I remember watching the replay. It was one dribble a second. 4 dribbles, we went the length of the court. And it was amazing. And it just went right through Illinois and later then and they win. So there's not necessarily true every case, but they got to play to the level of their opponent. Or I should say, they especially at home, they get up for the big games. Certainly USC is in that category for them. Illinois, Purdue, but I'm curious, where does Nebraska fit into that category? Because Nebraska, this week and in 2 weeks in the NCAA tournament, Nebraska's not a big name. Nebraska's not somebody that you get up for. But they're also top 10. So it's a top 10 team, and UCLA's trying to still get their tournament bid solid. So I think they'll play well. I think they'll come out and play well. But this isn't Illinois. This isn't Purdue for them. So I think it's going to be interesting. And I also think Nebraska is also going to get up for it. And if the games that they played, they had to play well. They have. So I mean, I'm going to have to stay up. Well, I have to have a nap tomorrow.
You're not the only one, probably, but this UCLA team, like, you look at the body of work. You know, they are 19-10, seventh in the Big Ten standings right now. So, if top 8 in the conference. They played Arizona close early in the year in a 4-point loss in a neutral site game. They played Gonzaga, lost that game by 10. They've played, but when they play on the road against these good teams, they have struggled. Played Iowa, they lost by 13. Ohio State, they lose that game by 11. And then they play a couple other teams, Michigan State back-to-back in Michigan, get completely blown out in both those games. Very different team. And then you turn it around after that Michigan State loss, obviously some off-the-court stuff, Mick Cronin obviously ejecting his own player or whatnot, and then kind of with the media, what happened there, turns around and beats Illinois at home right after that one in a overtime game, 95-94 in Pauley Pavilion. And you mentioned it, so I looked it up real quick. So Nebraska UCLA basketball history. When you mentioned they haven't really played a lot, you were not wrong. They have not played a lot in their history, Tom. They have played twice. So they have last year, they played Saturday, January 4th of the 2024-2025 season, and Nebraska got the best of them 66-58. However, they've not played at Pauley Pavilion before, but they played in the Wooden Legacy Tournament back in 2016-2017 at Titan Gym in Fullerton, California. Not a home game, but a neutral site technically, Tom. They played back in 2016-2017. UCLA got the best of Nebraska in that one, 82-71. So they have played before in California, but not at Pauley Pavilion. So Nebraska gets a chance to play in an historic venue. And if you look back, Tom, at some of the names here from this 2016-2017 game, Nebraska had Michael Jacobson, Jack McVeigh, Glenn Watson, Ty Webster, Isaiah Roby coming off the bench, Jordy Chamunga, some Nebraska basketball names of the past. And then you look at the UCLA game. This is when Lonzo Ball was with the Bruins when he was there, and TJ Leaf and company who have spent time in the NBA. So, first time they get to play at Pauley Pavilion. That's a very, historic venue, a lot of historic basketball teams at UCLA. So Nebraska gets a chance to play in because, you get a top 10 team coming to town. There should be a pretty good environment, not only for UCLA fans coming out, but there should be some Husker fans. There were some Husker fans there at the USC game. I'm assuming those fans are going to be out there for the double dip in the West Coast trip, Tom.
Yeah, this is working out to be an all-time Nebraska team with an all-time Nebraska coach, and they've done a lot that has been memorable this year. And I think winning at Pauley would make the year even more special.
Yeah, and it's a chance in not only winning there, but if they do win, clinch a triple bye in the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. Then you get to travel back. It'll be a nice little winning those 2 games on the West Coast, being out there for 5 days or whatnot, and then making that trip back with 2 wins. It has to feel very good. And then you go back and then you cap off the regular season on Senior Day. It's an emotional day, regardless of the sport. You get Iowa, you get your rival, the team that the worst loss, quote unquote, so far this year. Even though Iowa is going to be a team in the big dance as well, so Nebraska has a chance to get a little bit of revenge. And you mentioned Nebraska's back in the top 10. They have a chance. Some teams have slipped up over the past couple. Good teams slip up in college basketball. Nobody's perfect. Every team has their flaws. Nebraska has a chance to get back in that 2-seed conversation potentially. Because if you keep win some games in the Big Ten tournament, and then let's just say they get to the semifinals and run into somebody like a Purdue again, and Purdue beats them. Nebraska will have run the table. You have 5 losses on your schedule, but hey, you lost to tournament teams. You haven't lost a non-tournament team yet. So Nebraska's resume can continue to build when you go to Chicago for that week. It should be a really fun time because the Big Ten Conference tournament, always a beast. But this Nebraska team didn't even make the Big Ten Conference tournament last year, Tom. They weren't even in it. They weren't even in. They don't even make the Big Ten Conference tournament, win the college basketball crown, and 365 days later, they are potentially getting a top 4 spot, more than likely getting a top 4 spot in the Big Ten basketball tournament. That's just crazy how the world of college basketball, college sports in general work.
It's a great story, and it just shows you every year is different. And, this team added a few pieces, and they're a lot better.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works. That game tipping off at 10 o'clock. Well, a postgame here, Tom, at midnight. I will be here while Austin Norman's out in L.A. It should be a fun time. So if you're awake and you take your nap, like a lot of Husker fans might do, you can listen in. It'll be fun till 1 o'clock-ish in the morning. So that's just how you do it. You live to talk Husker basketball at 1 o'clock in the morning. It should be a fun time. But we're going to go to break. We're going to wrap up the show here after this break. You're listening to Husker Football Hour. Tom Shatel, Nick Wyman back in the studios here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos, wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas, topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too. Perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The wait is over. It's Truck Month at Anderson Ford, which means big selection and even bigger savings on Ford F-150s. Like lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for only $195 per month. The truck that's built to work hard and play hard. Another reason you'll experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1008409. Previous service letter. $195 per month for 36 months, 7,500 miles per year, 8,500 with type. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
The biggest question people have is, how do I start the process? What is the process? I want to build a new home, but I don't know what the first step is.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. And get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Central and Western Nebraska, this one's for you. On March 7th, Love Nebraska brings the pro game to the Heartland Event Center in Grand Island for a 7 p.m. showdown with Love Salt Lake, presented by FNBO. No long drive, no watching from afar, just live action in your backyard, featuring powerful serves, high-flying attacks, and the kind of intensity that builds with every rally. This is your chance to experience Nebraska volleyball up close as the entire state comes together for one big night. Get your tickets now at lovbneb.com/tickets.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, Husker Football Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Wyman here in the studios at 1040 O Street in the capital city. Tom Shatel, Omaha World Herald. Tom, you touched on it a little bit. Nebraska baseball playing Auburn this past weekend. You remember watching that Friday game, Nebraska coming back, down 4-0 early in that one to be able to erase a deficit against a top 10 team, an SEC baseball program like the Auburn Tigers. Come back and win that one, but hey, you lost next two, but hey, you showed you can hang with the best of the best. And there's a lot of expectation, not only for the baseball team, but also softball. Softball playing Oklahoma State in a game that felt like a postseason matchup against Oklahoma State. A lot of former Husker, high school players from the state. Shows what the depth is in high school softball in the state of Nebraska. But hey, the weather is getting better outside, a little better. I mean, there was no sun out today, but no snow, no rain. But Husker baseball opening the season, home opener tomorrow against Omaha at 1:30. And then on Thursday at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, respectively, Nebraska softball at Bullen Stadium playing South Dakota State. So if you're out and about and you got nothing going on, hey, you have a chance to watch two pretty solid baseball and softball programs that share a parking lot. There's a lot of just good vibes around the two teams this year, Tom, and you can see that through the schedule they've played. They play some tough teams.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun to have them both, on the way up. Certainly, softball is the top 5 program. Nebraska baseball is trying to get up there. Beating Auburn helps, but the problem is, especially playing the Big Ten, you always have to do more. And because playing in the Big Ten, where it's better with UCLA and Oregon and USC in there, you still need a lot of help to host regionals and try to make the tournament. So, the last couple of years, Nebraska has had to win the Big Ten tournament to get in. So, winning it on that just that whatever that does to the resume, fine. It should give them a lot of confidence. So
there's also the last couple of years, the midweek games have been kind of a thorn in Nebraska's side. Last year, I mean, in the series history against Omaha, Nebraska has won a majority of them. However, last year, Omaha got the last laugh against Nebraska. We've seen it in the past. Teams like, North Dakota State and Omaha and whatnot have come to Haymarket Park and been able to knock off Nebraska in a midweek game. And that shouldn't happen. You're playing, the midweek games are there to just spice it up, throw, your fifth or sixth best pitcher, and then get out and get a win and just add to your resume. But teams like Omaha have kind of been a little tricky for Nebraska over the past couple of years in those midweek slots. So hoping Nebraska can kind of put that behind them, put those past demons behind them, and kind of just pick up a win, because we've seen it. Those games hurt your resume if you're losing those midweek games, Tom.
Yeah, and Coach Bold has said they needed to have a little different approach to them, and but there, a lot of times you want to play other guys, you want to build depth, and so these teams are good. Omaha's got a lot of Nebraska kids on there. They're good. They compete in the Summit League. They've been in the NCAA tournament. And then you usually play KU and K-State. K-State's already got Nebraska once. KU's good. I saw they beat somebody good the other day. And then, these other Summit League schools in South Dakota State or North Dakota State are the teams you don't want to play, because they've got talent too. So the talent gap is a lot closer than it ever was. It's just, it would have been nice to get win the series at all, but at least they got one.
Exactly. You didn't get swept. And that the game, I mean, it was very close to that. You're down 4-0 against in a road environment, an SEC baseball program. SEC baseball is no joke. We've known that for years. They've won a lot of College World Series titles in Omaha over the past couple of years. And you're down 4-0 to them early. Ty Horn gets a little banged up, and then you just kind of chip away. You kind of just are there. And then able to take advantage of Will Jeske, a Lincoln Southeast graduate, hits a home run to put yourself up 4 in the 10th in extra innings. And then to get a win. I mean, that's cool. You beat a team like that. Nebraska also has beaten Florida State. So they've showed that they are capable of hanging with the top dogs, teams that could be not only hosting regionals, not only hosting super regionals, but also be going ahead and making the trip to Omaha come June.
Yeah. So, but now it's Michigan State, or they've got Michigan State this weekend, and then they go into the Big Ten, and it's I would love for college baseball to go back into where you get off airplanes, you get on a bus, and you're still in the Big 12 or Big 8. Nebraska was so much better in the Big 12 because the focus, the level of baseball was a lot better, and so you had to be better. And so that's no knock on the Big 10, but it's just different. Yeah. But now the Big Ten's got UCLA, and they're number one, or they were, and so that adds to that. But I don't know. It's just one of these things that I think we were surrounded by programs that had stadiums and warmer weather and bigger crowds. I think it would be easier to raise your level. Sometimes you kind of you have to make your own energy in the Big Ten in some of these places. So, but they're also good enough that they'll beat you if you're not playing well. So
that's what Nebraska's got to avoid tomorrow. They can't lose those weekday games, because those games have been a thorn in the side. Like we mentioned, they play Omaha tomorrow, 1:30 first pitch. So Tom, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Thank you for joining me. We'll see. We have a streak going with me being here. We'll see if that streak continues next week as we talk. So that is Tom Shatel, Omaha World Herald. We'll be right back. All in with Ridge Lovett and Kayla Smith. They are back. They were in Albania this past week. We'll recap what happened there. Husker wrestling, obviously heading off to the Big Ten wrestling tournament this past next weekend in Pennsylvania. A lot to cover. Stick with us here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.